Hello, lovely weathercasters of FBC. Welcome back, and this is part 2 of the Eternal commentary.
How exciting!
Exactly. How thrilling!
Who are you?
I'm George. I played the Doctor. Who the are you?
I'm JJ DeWitt. I play Oliver Turner. And
Who
who's
are
this
you?
guy?
I'm Pete. I think I might be in it somewhere. I don't know. I think for the
Really?
most part I'm just behind the camera.
Yeah, you're normally behind the camera, aren't you?
Okay.
But
Right.
you're in this one.
I think
What?
so.
What? I didn't realise this.
I thought.
I think this is like 18 months ago, so I don't know.
Well, I guess.
We thought you were behind the camera,
yeah,
where you
I think,
belong.
guys.
Oh.
What we need to do is we need to check the latest poster from Tom Bowen.
I agree.
yes.
The Time Artist.
And that
Yes, the time
the
artist.
time artist. Anyway, I think we should get into the commentary.
I agree,
I think
George.
you're right. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Let's go. Wow.
FBC.
TARDIS. Space. Commentary.
Is this like
Title
to
sequence.
select audio navigation?
Yeah,
press
yeah,
enter
yeah.
now.
That's what we're doing.
Cool.
It is spinning around.
So this is the only part to not have a pre-title sequence.
Cool, look at that.
Yes,
look at
that's
that boy.
true. That is George Hayes
That's
as the
that clean
Doctor.
shaven boy.
Indeed.
Something which I've not been for 2 years, I think now.
Oh, crazy.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
No, probably not. Actually, no.
Outdated logo now.
Yes.
Let's change it again.
God's sake. But which Doctor Who is it?
Eternal Part 2.
Thank you.
Written by Pete Messum.
Pete
Wonder who
Messum.
that guy is.
Who are these guys?
And of course, this is the first day of filming from March
It is.
2022.
Is that the first shot?
Yeah,
That was the
you
first
guys
shot
haven't-
we've-
Oh,
we
I've
shot.
been clean shaven. I haven't been clean
A
shaven
bit
for as long
longer.
as I have. Yes.
There we go.
God, I really wish I did something with my hair and that because it get around because of the wind.
That's 3 already.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to.
And we're
bleep
already
that,
on hair
yeah.
talk, so
Yeah.
it's going well.
Well, there's not much else to talk about apart from just 2 of these boys.
It's true.
You can still see the crack in the mask where you got where JJ
absolutely.
twatted you.
Yeah. Sorry about that, buddy.
Oh,
Okay,
who's this
We
boy?
made up since
Who
then.
is this
Oh,
guy? Ooh.
it's Daniel Moynihan as the Valiant.
In a very obvious wig.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's that obvious.
I think-
am I in the minority?
I think
on
it.
this?
I think it works. It's just unfortunate Daniel decided to try and grow his beard out the time.
But like Daniel's hair really did look like that.
I
Not in
know.
a rude way.
I
just in
supplied
a-
the wig, and I thought I did a great job.
You styled it as
think-
well.
What? What's
Who's-
the director doing? What?
It's some
Why do you
weird
include that
meta
shot?
moment.
You're in the.
You
in the
look,
film.
are you the midlife crisis doctor?
I knew there were going to be insults about my doctor. This is.
Hey
This
Pete,
is
I
unfair.
love your Doctor. I'm
Thank you
so
very
glad
much.
you came back for this because it brings me such joy seeing you on camera. Genuinely.
It's a bit gay, innit?
It is a. Big gay, innit? No man. I love it.
No, it was good to have me back on camera. Mainly because then you couldn't get annoyed when you also cause bloopers and it's not just me.
Pete did have a few bloopers and it was great.
The bloopers are now available
They
on
are.
the
They're
FBC
now, yeah.
YouTube channel.
So if you've not watched them, watch them. But finish watching this first because
Yeah.
we need the audience retention.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So watch the blooper because see how much Pete had to cut because of my mess ups. Also how much swearing I did as well.
Absolutely.
There we go. We got a nice wide angle of the 4 of us.
Yes.
We don't always get these kind of shots
No, it's
because
just
it's
nice.
just the way we shoot.
This bit took ages, didn't it?
So this is the infamous bit that I
We
don't
couldn't
know
get-
if we want to talk about or not.
Oh, absolutely. No, please do feel free.
I don't know why.
So this is a reshoot. This is also a reshoot. That's not a reshoot. So
I can
when
tell.
we filmed this originally, there were some issues with the shots of me and George.
Yeah.
This,
Um,
unfortunately, I was left to do camera duty, and it turns out focusing shots isn't too easy when you're me.
I don't know what I think I don't know why, but I look like I've had my eyes and face look like I've had the crap kicked out of me. It's really just red and purple in places, but I don't know why. I cannot remember.
Unfortunately, this is what happens when you have to reshoot things on different times. So we essentially, when did we film this?
So
Your reshoot?
this
This was one of the last
is
things we
the
did, wasn't it?
4th round of filming this in November 2022.
Oh,
So
this.
just to go over the
Yeah.
story, this was originally shot in March 2022. We tried to reshoot it in May 2022, but the whole area had like massively overgrown.
Yeah.
So at some point after May 2022, I tested out reshooting George's shot against the green screen and cutting him out of the original shot to place him in there. The green screen itself wasn't awful. What didn't work was that we shot it handheld, so it didn't match up at all when you cut back to Daniel. So then it was a case of waiting until winter was coming, so to speak, and reshooting basically these insert shots. We couldn't get Daniel back, so it was basically just getting the stuff we needed.
And then me talking to nothing.
So sorry about that, lads.
Yeah.
But it worked out.
So we shot it on the first day of principal photography, and we shot it on the last day of principal photography.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It was a full circle moment, an Ouroboros, if you will.
And of course, I've got a different costume in this one.
I really like the costume. I think it's cool.
I like it.
You're a different doctor.
You're a different doctor.
I
That's
am a
why.
different
And Daniel's
doctor.
a different Valiant. That's why he's got a beard.
Yes, that's what we're calling
That's
it.
the canonical reason. Yeah.
So the coat is actually one I got after. It was either around the time we were finishing Legacy or after, and I thought it was really cool, and I really wanted to wear it in a Doctor Who fan film. So it's in this.
What was the thought behind the trophy?
So I wear it in our 50th anniversary special Out of Time. So it brings it all full circle.
There we go.
Yeah, I see.
It's the
Oh,
exact
look,
same.
I wonder
one.
where JJ is.
Where am I?
So
Are you in
this
the
is
place between worlds that we established in the multiverse
Exactly.
storylines?
the
How
dimensional
cool is
pit
that?
stop
That's the one.
Yeah, which is just a forest and a lake.
on the hottest day of the year.
Oh, this
Was it this day?
Was this the same day which I
this
knew,
is-
which I knew you
This
passed
is
out?
the day.
Yes.
This is the day we did lots of random things, including the Havoken, the you running through the forest fighting the cult.
Post regen
Yeah.
stuff.
This scene. Oh
yeah.
god, it was so hot.
Yeah, I nearly passed out. It was not a fun
Yeah.
time.
Originally, I was going to wear a jumper underneath that blazer.
I was going to
And,
wear a jumper as well for the post regen costume.
Yeah,
I
Like a
remember that.
Capaldi sort of bit when he comes back and he get after with the guitar and stuff. I thought no, it does. I'm glad I didn't do that.
We
'cause
would
it
have
was-
died.
We've got some photos of that
I
costume
do,
as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
But they'll never see the light of day.
So I did actually try having this cutting back to James, and what I realised was it
Yeah.
just
Didn't
didn't
work.
flow.
Yeah.
I think it worked better staying from Oliver's perspective. So this is actually George reading the lines and me dubbing Joe over the top, which is potentially risky, but it did work.
Because as well, we feel it does kind of help Oliver's sort of isolation because while he's got Joe in his ear,
Yeah.
he's got nothing else to help him. He's kind of literally stuck.
And I think not cutting back to James sells that a lot more.
Exactly.
Because there was actually a decent amount of stuff with Joe that we shot that didn't end up making the final cut because pacing, and also I think, you know, we going back to there kind of takes away from what the main story is.
It can
With
become
these
quite
characters.
scatter shots
Yeah,
in
exactly.
terms of the narrative.
So I think
So
we settled on
It works
a
out
good
better in my
compromise.
opinion.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll see those scenes eventually anyway.
In some
well,
deleted
there are
scenes.
the deleted scenes.
Hey!
There's only, as far as I'm aware, there's only one bit that we cut because it was just so brief that I didn't see any point of adding it into
That's fair.
to the reel.
Cheeky bit of lost media there. Fun times.
And of course, who did the sound effects for the portal?
I
JJ?
did the sound effect for the portal, yes. I'd forgotten I did, but thank you for mentioning it, yeah.
There we go.
Clarice.
Ooh.
It still
Back
makes
at
me
it again.
laugh that through all the years we've had the Clarice and had the gun, you've never asked and I've never bothered to make a better bloody bandolier strap for it. It's just a
It's
piece of
iconic.
string.
It's iconic.
It's
I never thought about it.
So
That's a
this
good point.
is okay. That's a reshoot, but that is original
That's the original.
filming.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not terrible.
No, I think at distance it works, but I think
Yeah,
if you close ups is where
there
the
we go.
issues can arise.
Nice Dutch angle.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
cool
exactly.
channel.
And this,
some-
of course, is a split screen shot. 3 JJs.
Yeah.
And it works. It's really good.
The split screens are really cool in this film.
I found out yesterday that the guy who did the music that's being used here has done like a really cool remix, and there's a part of me that wishes we'd had it for this because it would have synced up really well with all the action.
Do a director's
Like
cut.
just some cold-blooded murder.
Yeah. Well, no, he's stunning them. We reveal a bit later because he's the good
He's
value.
a good Valiard this time.
I feel like we.
I like he drops it down and is like, I'm getting in a fist fight with you. Didn't I help choreograph this?
You did, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's me and Daniel fighting, obviously. You
There's
can tell it's me.
some behind the scenes footage of you guys choreographing it,
Yeah.
which is quite cool.
Yeah, because I'm the more violent of all of us, so I thought, well, Pete thought make it more applicable. Ah,
Look.
there I am.
Whoa, look who's
Who's
back!
this boy?
Back
He's
from
just,
the black
he's just in
hole.
black.
It's so cool to see characters you've never seen interact. Sorry, go for
And
it.
this is a reshoot as well. Just,
Yes.
I shouldn't be pointing this out, but
it's
you can watch
interesting.
the deleted scenes and see the original version.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. It was reshot basically because the original, I think, was shot at the end of a long day, and
we didn't
the
have the same
angles weren't
energy.
great, and the energy wasn't there, and so this was shot towards the beginning of the last day. And I think it is considerably better. We even shot it in a different location because it looked better.
Yeah.
I like this scene.
This is a cool scene.
I like the sun being really low in the sky. Obviously, we can't control that, but it's cool.
Dramatic.
Kind of wish we put. Kind of in hindsight, I kind of wish I had some like dust on it. I could have just brushed off myself to make it look like a burn mark or something.
That's how low budget we are.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, it's what it is.
I think my hair's still kind of black though, because I remember around the time I dyed it.
Oh really?
When it was coming out, it was going kind of brownish,
Yeah.
roughly. In part 3, it was back to the normal colour.
Little lens flare there.
Right, JJ.
I think this is you shooting this though, JJ. I've got
Yeah.
a picture of you shooting.
I like.
Yeah, that's
I like the
true.
simplicity of the reverse shot that we did for the catching. But
Oh yeah. It works really well. Getting it synced was slightly tricky because obviously you've got to get the flow, but it did work.
I love whenever I get to play the Dark Doctor because he's such an absolute.
I love when you play him
He's
because
such a break.
you seem so into it when you do it.
Oh, I
It's
am.
really
Because I love
great to
playing
watch.
villains.
Yeah.
And like how that you don't get to see exactly what happens directly. You have to wait till he's found.
Yeah, this was so difficult to get the edit right. That was a bit I went back and forth on. This is another scene I like. I'm glad we have this closure for the Valiant.
Yeah, I agree.
That he gets to become the Doctor at the end. And obviously this is an alternate version and stuff, but I think it's nice to have that.
Because even though the Valiant's been considered the darkest parts of the Doctor, I like even the darkest parts of the Doctor are still redeemable. Like still can be a good person.
I really like Daniel's performance in this. I
Yeah,
think
Daniel's
he's
did a great
good.
job, and it was lovely to have him back.
Oh look,
There we go.
I like how I'm out of focus.
Yeah. That was one of those shots I just had in my head when I was writing the scripts, and it's cool that we managed to achieve it.
For sure.
At one point, my Doctor was going to be killed at this moment.
Yeah.
And a certain someone stopped me.
Right, so Pete was like, okay, we got to kill the Legacy Doctor because JJ, you can't operate the camera. And I was like,
This would have been before that though, I'm sure.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought part of it was because you were worried
There was
about
it was a combination of things.
Yeah.
And I remember even after this, we kind of went back and forth on. There was a version where I get killed at the end of part 2.
Yeah.
To raise the stakes.
Yeah. And I was just like, no.
I think from a narrative point of view, I agree with JJ. From a watching myself back point of view, I don't.
Why?
I don't like watching myself back.
Yeah,
Well,
but
neither
well, I'm
do I.
glad I was able to convince you otherwise because I think you did a great job. And equally, narratively, it just would not have worked to kill you off in part 2 because, you know, it works well having you all the way to the end meeting back up with James and
I mean,
all that kind of stuff.
We'll get onto it when we get into part
For sure.
3. The ending was one of those that was reworked a bit as we went.
Yeah.
Just knowing what we had to wrap up, because it's such a complicated production that there was always an element of we might not be able to do this, so if we can't do that, we need to work it like
that's a very
this.
good point. There was a lot of uncertainty making pretty much the entirety of it, really. And I'm sure we'll get to certain points that have. I think one in part 3, which we'll mention when we get to that.
Yeah.
But,
I do think it works from a story perspective, though. I think it's nice. And obviously, it's kind of funny that George was in my last Doctor Who, and I'm in George's last Doctor Who.
yeah, it's fun. Just want to reiterate how cool it is, the amount of people we managed to get back in that character.
Yeah, it was very surprising.
And Daniel's there. I remember Daniel had finished.
Yeah,
And
he was
went,
willing to
Daniel,
lie
can you just
down.
lie down again?
Yeah.
I found it interesting as well that you did JJ falling down from the top.
Yeah, I wanted to.
So I do
mention
like
that.
his case of like not every porter's gonna conveniently
Yeah.
you just have to walk out. No, sometimes you can fall flat on your ass.
It's just a nice.
Yeah.
Fun,
It's just a nice
fun
little
bit,
touch.
isn't it?
It's nice. And there's another JJ.
There's another me. I wish we played more into the fact that Oliver is quite defenseless because he doesn't have any weapons on him. So at that point, if Caleb wasn't there, he would have been kind of screwed.
Yeah, I mean it's always difficult to make this stuff work within the parameters of what we can do as a production.
also just from my point of view, because I'm the one who sources like 99% of the props that I use on set, which is fair to say. I'm surprised I've managed to keep all of them since we started doing everything back from when I joined Warriors of Seth, then Enmity, and then on to this one. I'm honestly surprised I've not gotten rid of it over the years. Or just think, or just my parents think, oh, get rid of this, George. You want to? And then me thinking of nothing, like, yeah, get rid of it. It's fine. They're like, oh, it's gone. And I have to find something new.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I've managed to keep so much.
It's been handy in case we've ever needed to go back to anything.
Yeah.
So thank you, George.
Like reusing footage was in awkward ways.
I like this evermore kind of connection there. Kind of tie it in a bit more.
I feel like over the course of the 3 parts, we have a reference to every single Enmity Doctor episode. I think including Warriors and Legacy. Obviously, we've got the Valiards from Legacy.
Yeah.
So it's cool having a story where everything coalesces.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in that there was an overarching narrative, but just being able to bring everything together for the finale. Bit emo.
Bit emo.
Emo Doctor.
Every time
Oliver loves saying emo.
Every time you had a chance to throw in about the Dark Doctor being emo, I think eventually we just start calling him Emo Doctor or Emo Boy. Just in terms of.
There was a Spider-Man 3 joke in the original Journey script.
Oh,
which unfortunately
I think there
cut.
was. I think you mentioned it briefly.
I can't remember that.
I'm glad we didn't do
was
it.
Like, I can't remember. There was something along the lines of he's not going to start dancing on me or something like that. It was, yeah. Oliver Turner is a huge fan of Spider-Man 3.
What can he say? He loves it.
Canonical.
He defends that movie with his life.
I mean, at this point, I think we all do. We've all
we're
learned.
We're at that point now.
We've all learned that Spider-Man 3 really wasn't the worst Spider-Man movie.
No.
It's probably in the better category at this point.
What a world.
What a world. Some good stuff. Anyway, let's not talk about Spider-Man 3.
When did we shoot this?
This was like the 3rd or 4th day of shooting. I want to say this was like April, May. Probably in the May camp. So we started shooting in March, then we had like the first May day with the 2 of you.
Yeah.
And then we had the 2nd and 3rd. One was you and Owen, and one was you, Georgia, and Joe.
I think that was before this one.
Okay, so what is this,
late
day 4?
May? Yeah, yeah.
We could just check the outtakes.
Could
but
just
we're not
check the
going
outtakes.
to.
We're not going to. We're just going to wing it.
We're just going to wing
We're going to wing it. I enjoyed this day. Don't think I have much to report on it, but it was fun.
It's just a nice.
It's just a good day.
It's just nice seeing this alternate version of Caleb interacting and obviously.
Yeah, that's what I like about this Caleb is that he's a bit more aggressive.
He's a bit more aggressive, hardened.
Yeah.
A bit more
And especially because
abrasive.
obviously for Oliver,
Yeah.
the last time he saw Caleb, he was being turned into Morbius.
Yeah.
And killed essentially.
Exactly.
It's quite nice seeing them interact again. And I really love it whenever we get to see. Oh, this bit.
Dream sequence.
Classic, yeah. The mirrored one. Not me wearing a
Hawaiian
palm
shirt.
tree Hawaiian shirt as Morbius. Oops, sorry, buddy.
Did we talk about the fact this was shot on a different camera? I can't remember.
I
I feel like it's
vaguely
anyway.
recall you
Yeah.
mentioning it,
Okay,
but-
cool. Anyway, that's why it looks different.
But it works well.
I played around with a lot of different effects on this, and I kind of ended up stripping a lot of them out in the end.
I do like this bit. This little dream sequence that happens because it makes sense that this is something the Doctor plays on, or plays on the Doctor's mind because of my Doctor's killed a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's a projection from the Eternal.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons it is in black and white, and we have the Eternal being sort of visually represented in sort of monochrome later on to sort of feed it all together.
Also,
It's tricky to sort of make this stuff work and keep it flowing within the narrative. So obviously the first one is before the Doctor wakes up on Ursa Minor, like a nightmare, and then this is sort of mid-action. And so this is actually a lot later on for Owen. This is like, I don't know, 3 months later or something.
yeah, because the hair.
Oh, hairs are
yeah.
shorter.
Yeah, he did say in advance, and I was like, is it still long? And he was like, yeah, it's still pretty long. I was like, okay, I think we'll get
If it was short, I think it'd be funny.
Yeah.
But
Oh, God,
I
imagine.
always like the bits where you've got my Doctor and obviously Clarence interacting, just because because obviously they both do not like each other. They're both But I just find it ironic that they get so much like shared bits within this throughout the story.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. Because basically, for my Doctor, Clarence is basically equivalent of like the Master for like the third and fourth Doctor. How he keeps reappearing and he constantly over there for various bits, and I just really enjoy how that when they interact and how just you see Clarence's joy in kind of pissing the Doctor off, the Doctor just trying to keep him kind of on a tight leash,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't always. It doesn't obviously doesn't end up working, but
It's nice they have so much time together in this
Exactly.
final film, because that's essentially what the Enmity Doctor story is, like you said.
and I do.
Them two together.
It's kind of nice that we're able to shoot this with like 2 shots instead of just singles of each character talking. And I think particularly post-COVID, it's something I've really noticed in lots of things, and I did try and stop it with this. And obviously, it's JJ doubling as Oliver and Clarice.
Yeah, I was
but
about
we
to say
still,
it's quite.
it doesn't change the filming approach. And like Clarice gets close-ups partly because of the dubbing as much as anything, and he gets some sort of emphasis on him. But like, there's a sense of blocking and stuff to the scenes that if we just did it tight singles, it wouldn't quite have.
It makes it a bit more dynamic.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
flow. I don't think it would flow.
Like
as
having
well.
you guys interact like in the same frame together is nice,
It works well. I like it a lot.
and we can punch in for the story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is cool. And this is of course the backstory from Doctor Who Evermore, episode 3.
Classic.
Well, because I remember all the kind of subtitles is always Evermore or E, it's Enmity, Exodus, Evermore, Eternal. So, which is always kind of fun. How many words did you try and find before you settled on? Obviously-
This was. Oh, this is where I've got to remember. See, because there was like the whole COVID stoppage, so Evermore was already settled on. I can't remember.
We
I
spoke
had a
about Eternal,
working
didn't we?
title. I think Eternal was one of the working titles for season 3, as I was calling it. And then once it was clear that we were doing this as essentially just one story, Eternal was the obvious title to do, kind of like Batman Forever. But like then suddenly it's, why is it Doctor Who Eternal other than the Doctor is Eternal? And the idea of, hey, what if the big foe is
Is
Eternal?
Eternal.
And that's something more sort of cosmic and godlike, and you can have that. And I think that sort of led to the thing of having Clarice and the Eternal sort of fused together.
I like that split shot.
Yeah, that's a crisp shot.
I like how you hide the cut by kind of doing close with the Doctor going. Follow.
Here's a fun one of us 4. That's not me as Clarice. What's going on there?
Clarice's species have a known ability to shrink at will when it's convenient.
Yeah. It's another fun shot of us 3.
I do kind of like, because it does make sense.
Stuff.
I do just kind of like how Clarice is kind of, when he interjects, he gets his own shot, because he just feels kind of like, you know, you're saying bits where in a group project, there's always the 3 who are kind of in main bits, and the one person who brings up the most obvious things and like the things that actually needs to be brought up. He's like, well, have you not noticed this? This is a bit too easy. This is going to blow up in our faces massively.
There we go. See, the Dark Doctor's in black and white because Eternal powers. There we go. It's a nice little bit. I feel like I should comment on this, but I don't know what to say.
That's not what you say, really. It's just some good bit of...
This is good.
Good bit of
It's
acting.
good.
I'm enjoying it.
It's quite good. This.
It's quite good, isn't
Good
it?
job, lads. Well done.
None of the full-time soldiers head this way. Okay. Oh, and keep an eye on Clarence for me, will you? Of course. Good luck, Caleb.
And Owen only has the turn because it felt really awkward, Owen, just saying that. So we added in
Look
the
cool.
turn.
It would have been weird if he...
Convenient tree
There we
placement
go.
to avoid showing Clarice as
Oh
well.
yes. and that is George's only appearance as Clarence.
That is my only
so
voice.
sad. Why did you look so sad?
He looks so depressed. And then suddenly he wakes up. But it's nice that you're all in a shot together.
For sure.
I think it's quite funny just because
That's amazing.
I'm not used to being Clarence. I've never been that bar on that day.
Yeah.
And this was
I'm-
filmed in this very room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I remember this was quite funny.
This was
This
so
this
hot,
took
though.
so long and it was so hot.
Oh my god, I was just sweating for the whole shoot.
I had costume changes as well. I think that
Oh,
would kill
yeah.
me now.
We really struggled. Like, there's a part of me that wishes we'd got more angles and variety and stuff, but like the
Oh,
actual shooting of it
God.
was so difficult.
I wasn't even on camera until I became Clarence, but
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ,
yeah.
even I was dying.
It was.
Let
it
alone
was
when I
a
had to put on
struggle.
that Clarence costume.
Oh my god.
And you had the sun beaming in from...
Oh, yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah,
we would
yeah.
have closed the
Yeah, we
curtains,
closed
but
the
even
curtains.
But
so...
yeah,
it
we.
felt like-
It was just. Oh my god. Yeah.
It was a rough one.
And it's such a dialogue-heavy scene, and trying to give it a flow and everything. It was a real struggle to shoot, and it was a real struggle to edit, to just trying to get the story together. And of course, when I got into the edit, I realised that we still hadn't actually done a shot of the Dark Doctor and the Enmity Doctor together. We've never done a split screen shot, and it annoys me, but I also just, it would have, I think it would have killed us on the day.
Literally.
Like, it was-
I think it would have been
so
it would have been
difficult.
fun to do, but maybe if we do, maybe when we
special
eventually
edition
do,
version.
exactly. Maybe when we
George
do the
Lucas
Tales
will
from the TARDIS,
Yeah.
we'll do that.
Absolutely. So how did we set up this set, guys?
That is a backdrop I think I got as a present, and then I mentioned to P I had it, and obviously it worked out quite well because for spaceship stuff, especially with instead of having to worry about green screening it, we had something practical that we could control the lighting for a bit better.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
I think it's good. It's good. I kind of wish in hindsight I had it sooner because we could have done a few other bits, not like spaceship stuff.
Yeah.
And between shots, didn't you like flip it over?
Oh yeah, so
To,
to get the shot reverse shot, we did flip it over so it wasn't exactly the same
background.
pattern, I guess, or texture, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. My original idea, and obviously on the day, maybe even before the day, it became very clear that it just wasn't going to work logistically, was to have the Dark Doctor more sort of withered and sort of marks around his eyes and stuff, and it just...
I remember we talked about that thing, and then
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember how practically it was going to work.
With the shooting, with the shooting day as it was, I think it would have been.
I think it wouldn't have picked up on camera much because I
Yeah,
didn't know how you wanted to
it's
do it.
tricky. I think it's just one of those. Just logistically trying to make it work for us.
So, yeah, on
just wasn't gonna
our
happen.
shoestring budget, it's
Yeah, we just don't have the,
So only have, like,
the
basic-
time and the space.
Yeah. If you notice a cut, that's because the camera stopped recording. Just thought we'd bring it up just in case it's noticeable.
Yeah.
Lol.
I don't even remember I genuinely can't remember where it stopped. I remember it stopped.
It's gonna be awkward, isn't it?
We're
We're gonna have to start all over again.
No!
No! I love it, but I can't keep watching it.
I'm just remembering how difficult this was to shoot.
Oh,
I should
yeah,
be
same.
enjoying this really.
I just remember one bit, just in case of, in that bit where we have to walk together, I remember one of the bloopers where you started laughing because you heard me trip up over something. And this is why probably you were not about getting it on camera again. This boy, you wanted to kill yourself off because you also started messing up as well.
Oh,
Because you just forgot how much you did.
Difficult.
It is one of those sort of scenes though where sometimes you have it where you can't watch it without thinking about how it took the film. Sometimes when I make a song, all I think is the chords and not the actual song itself, you know? I kind of have that with certain scenes. I can only think of the filming of it as opposed to what's
Ooh,
actually happening.
what's happening to
That's
poor old
I
Clarence?
love that!
I love the colour transition, I like it.
I was very excited for that bit.
We get some
Is
weird
this-
looks when we film in public, don't we?
We certainly-
Yeah, this is from the original. Is this from the original?
Yeah, his hair's
Yeah,
different.
it's
His
like-
hair's
Yeah.
back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Again, you can tell I was really into using 2 shots for this.
But I think it's cool. It gives it a unique
Yeah.
touch. I like that we kind of did some slightly experimental things with this one, like Clarice's body language, for example, in the 2 shots.
Yeah, because Clarice approves it only ever done just with single takes, unless if he was
yeah.
talking, moving obviously that's different. But if he was just talking and expositing, you talk with just one static shot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we did for quite a lot of the other things, didn't we?
Hmm.
Oh, and there's me. This is fun.
Oh yeah. That. I mean, actually, that didn't take too long, but it was awkward to
There was
set up.
yeah, there was some
It was
tricky.
awkward to set up. Getting the 2 of you in shot together.
Always fun.
So I think this was me reading in,
I think yeah. Well,
Yeah,
would have
and
had
then
to
obviously dubbed with Tom. You can feel the romantic tension between them.
be Dark Doctor and Clarice.
Cute.
It's all lies, Clarice. He'll betray you just as quickly as anyone.
Of course, the downside with shooting this sequence with natural light is the sun kept going in and out, and so I tried to level it out in post, but
It's not we
it's
didn't
not
have
great.
we didn't have like a big light we could use.
yeah,
Anyway,
it's
hindsight
life.
2020.
Why would those lights from Forgotten Past in the Ukti ship? They were
Oh
cool.
my god!
Oh
They
no.
were-
What
they-
happened?
they have
Just
been
so- just so
forgotten.
difficult to set up. I remember. They weren't. I mean, they weren't really designed for that. I have no idea where they are actually. They're probably somewhere.
Been the forgotten past.
Whee!
Yeah. I mean, that's God.
That's a throwback.
That is a throwback. I'd forgotten about those until you
Just
mentioned
came into
it,
my head.
Because I do have a light box, but trying to, because this is all tripod stuff, just so that we could keep resetting.
Consistency, yeah.
So I'd need to get like another tripod or a stand or something for it to go on. I don't know. Part of me wonders if I should have tried to light the backdrop from sort of below, put
Sure.
a light on the floor, and then we have like a backlight for all of us. I don't know. Obviously it didn't happen. That's an insert shot because we didn't have the Clarice gun on the original day
No,
of
we
filming.
did not. But I do I do love how in this story, the Dark Doctor's killed off and Clarice
Yeah.
takes
Big
over.
cliffhanger.
I really do think it's a good choice. It was a good narrative choice
I agree.
because it's kind of it subverts me. You kind of think Clarence is there, it's going to help out. It kind of subverts your expectation. You think, oh, it's going to be the Dark Doctor.
You think the Dark
focus.
Doctor's going to be the big bad, but
Again.
then he gets offed in
I think he gets
the
off.
end of
I
part
think he
2.
gets off.
So it's like, oh, here we go.
God,
Look
the
at that
penultimate-
cast list! That's so cool!
Penultimate episode, guys.
How exciting. I know.
I know.
That's mental. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
I think I forgot to credit someone on the music, but
Oh, no.
Oh no. I like how
I
it
don't
is-
think they'll be watching.
They will be now.
I like how in the credit it's additional props by character options, as if they've supplied them themselves.
They have?
But it's
What do you mean?
just licensing. So we use their toys.
So thank you for watching,
Yes.
and we'll
Yes.
see you for part 3.
How exciting.
Goodbye.
Bye. Smooth.